The chairman of the watchdog group, the National Legal and Policy Center, is singling out the George Soros-backed Open Society Foundation with a cease and desist letter alleging that the Open Society Foundation supports groups that organize divisive and inflammatory anti-Trump protests, which may be leading to political violence. The chairman of the NLPC, Peter Flaherty. Peter, connect the dots for us. What's the connection there between anti-Trump protests supported by Indivisible, Move On, and the Open Society Foundation, and, for instance, the assassination of Charlie Kirk?
Well, speech does have consequences, as we've seen. The Open Society Foundations, so-called, have a bottomless pit of money, which they distribute all across the left-wing political spectrum. But we are singling out two groups in particular, Move On and Invisible, as you mentioned, because they are the organizers of these national protests. They have another one scheduled for October 18th. This will be no less than their 11th national day of protest.
Now, these are protesting
about
Mr. Trump, though, right, and his policies.
Well, they are, and there's quite a lot of vitriol directed against his supporters and Trump. The messaging, the dominant messaging by the participants and the organizers is that Trump and his supporters are fascists, they're Nazis, they're dictator wannabes, they're white supremacists, and other words that can't be mentioned on television.
And the connection there is that Charlie Kirk was a very prominent Trump supporter, is what you're saying, right?
Well, that is correct. And if you hold the view that a Trump supporter is a fascist and therefore wants to take away your rights, then you have a license to take him out. And that's exactly the kind of psychology that led to the murder of Charlie Kirk.
These organizations also have a tax-exempt purpose, a tax-exempt status, I guess, a tax-exempt status, and their activities are tax-exempt, are recognized as that 501c3, and then there's C4 and a bunch of other categorizations in there. Is that potentially something which could be examined going forward, do you suppose, if it is demonstrated that these groups are supporting and condoning violent behavior?
We're examining that now. We're doing a deep dive on it now. There are tax-exempt groups who clearly, in my view, are operating outside of their tax-exempt purpose. Specifically, it's the groups who are alerting illegal aliens to impending ICE raids or in other ways impeding the enforcement of the law by ICE officials. That's clearly not a tax-exempt status. Some of these groups get money from Soros, and we plan to make them accountable.
Chairman of the NLPC, Peter Flaherty, thank you for speaking with us on One American News, sir. It's a pleasure.
You're welcome, John.